McKenna was one of those people that people gravitated towards, just true sunshine. She left an incredibly thoughtful letter, which is so typical of her. She didn't call anybody out. It was all about how much she loved us and how safe she felt at home, and that she was lacking a sense of belongingness outside of home. And there's just a lot of mean kids out there.
Well, Cheryl and Hunter claim their 16-year-old daughter, McKenna, was buried in shame when she took her own life after being bullied for less than 5 days. Now you say, how could that be? Well, let me tell you how it can be. You know, when somebody you're in a relationship says something to you, somebody you're invested in says something to you, it takes on a much heavier gravity than a stranger. That's why if your husband or wife or brother or sister, mother or father say something to you, it weighs much heavier than if somebody that's working at the 7-Eleven down on the corner says something to you. You don't know them. You're not invested in them. But when you're friends, when people that you have worked with, spent the night with, traveled with, shared things with, shared confidences with, all of a sudden turn on you, it matters to you. You start to question, what's happened here? Why have things gone off the rails? Did I not ever really have a real relationship? Was I fooling myself all of this time? Is there no loyalty? Was there not one person in this group, not anyone that would stand up for me or have my back? And it makes you question who you are. Well, you knew these parents. How do you feel that nobody reached out to y'all and said, hey, there's a squabble going on here, there's a problem, we need to bridge this?
Makes me angry that she couldn't have just given me a heads up that something was going on. But not only was she aware, but she was way too involved, come to find out.
Did these former friends come to the funeral?
They all came to the funeral.
3.
I'm sorry, all but one came to the funeral.
And did they
parents as well.
express their apologies, their remorse, their feelings? What would they say?
They didn't speak to us.
And at that point in time, we knew very little. We knew, we knew that she had been there. We knew that there was a bit of drama, that the detective left our house, went to their house. They were actually back at the beach by the time the detective got there. But we knew very little at the point of time in the funeral. At the funeral, we knew very little. It was only afterwards when teammates and friends began to come forward and talk to us and forward the texts that were sent and say that they'd reached out by phone or that they'd seen this on Snap or Instagram or whatever. That's the only reason we know any of this. If those girls had not been brave enough to come forward, we would have been completely oblivious to what had happened.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.